Hi there, I'm Lisa Arana, and thank you so much for joining me for another Assemble This video. Today's card is perfect for the holidays. I love the celebration of the birth of Jesus, and we're going to be adding just a hint of sparkle with hot foil and then also watercoloring up Mary and baby Jesus. I have this beautiful image from Unity Stamp Company pre-stamped on some watercolor paper using VersaFine ink. I love this ink for watercoloring just because it dries so fast. And then I'm prepping my palette using a glass mat with a bunch of distress ink colors. If you don't have a glass mat, you can use any type of a slick surface like an acrylic block or a laminated piece of cardstock, and that will help you to pick up those colors from the distress inks using your water brush pen. I'm using a bunch of neutral tones for the skin color and just layering that down really nice and light. I can always build up color, so I'm doing a light layer and then tapping on my shadow, and then I'll let that dry, and then if I need to come back in and deepen up any of those colors, I will after it dries. This is such a simple stamp. It's really easy to watercolor, and I just used a few colors of ink to watercolor with. For the blue, I'm going to be using just broken china and I'm adding more water to dilute it to create a nice soft light blue. And then I'll come back and pick up the pigment directly to add the shadow and to deepen up that blue. So you see me add some water to really lighten up the color, and then I'll grab from the other area where I have the ink that's more pigmented and not diluted, and that will really create the shadow and the two tones of blue in her head covering. It's a great way to stretch your ink colors or your watercolors to get two tones just by playing with the amount of water that you use. I'm also using that hickory smoke as a shadow. I had another color in there. I ended up not using it, so I didn't list it. So I'm just using the hickory smoke for shadow. And then I'll go over the image just one more time to really pop those colors and add a depth to the image. Now I'm just going to let that dry completely and work on an ink blended background. I have tumbled glass, broken china, and faded jeans. And I'm just going to ink blend away. I'm starting out with a wide band of the lightest color, the tumbled glass, and just blending, blending, blending. It does take a more effort when you're using an ink cube and a blending brush, but you just keep blending and going over and over those layers. Next, I'll do a nice wide band of the middle tone, which is broken china. And again, I'm overlapping those bands of colors. And then I'll do a third color of faded jeans around the edge of the card. And as I'm blending these layers, I am going back and forth between the two colors to get a nice blend, and it really builds up that vibrancy. So this probably took me quite a bit of time. I don't know how long, but I did blend for a lot. So just keep going, and again, it's just ink and paper, so it doesn't hurt to keep adding ink and see how it turns out. Just have fun playing. And here is the final look. I did another layer pretty much of everything but the center to really, really create that vibrancy and depth. For the background, I'm going to do some hot foiling. I have this pretty sparkle and shine plate from Pink Fresh Studio and Aurora foil from Spellbinders. I heated everything up according to the glimmer system directions, laid down my foils so the pretty side touches the plate, and then I'm laying my ink blended background over the top and added my plates. Now I added shims because I haven't foiled in a while, and for some reason I thought I needed shims and I didn't. So this really created an impression. And it was too much. And I should have stopped when I felt it, but again, I haven't foiled in a while, so I made a mistake. So you'll see lots of overfoiling, and that is because I had way too much pressure. And that's, not a big deal. Sometimes I might throw this away, sometimes I don't. I decided to go ahead and embrace it, and I am just going to die cut off most of that overfoiling using the scalloped and rectangles dies from Unity. And then I'm layering everything up on a white card base. I have a navy scalloped mat for my pretty twinkling night sky. And then to really make the watercolor image pop, I decided to come in with some Prismacolor color pencils and to color the shadow over top of that watercolor. It's kind of fun. It's a cheater's way, I guess, of adding more depth to your image. So I picked some Prismacolors that were close to my distress colors and scribbled those on over the top. And then I'm using the colorless blender to gently blend that out. And I'm doing this in all the darker areas of the image that would be in shadow to kind of create more of a contrast in that color. I really love how this turned out. Next time I may even try it with some Gamsol. I wasn't sure how that would react to the watercolors, so I ended up just using the colorless blender. I added the Oh Holy Night sentiment from the Believe in Magic front and center kit, and then popped them both up on my card front to finish everything off. I really love how everything came together in the end to create this really magical moment of the birth of Jesus to celebrate for this Christmas season. Thank you so much for creating with me today. Be sure to like and subscribe to catch all my video tutorials, and it really helps my little channel grow. I hope you were inspired, and I will see you again soon for another video. Bye!